Okay, I'm using this because the place is a wreck, but I'm going to try and keep this video short as well. Here's the thing. Romancing Saga 2, I'm not going to go into everything, because no matter how hard I try, that video winds up almost being 30 minutes, and I kind of want to keep this one short. So here's the thing. Romancing Saga 2 is not a bad game. I've had a good bit of fun in the first half of it. It's at that second half where my fun starts to dissipate. Now, the thing is that the idea of having this be a dynasty, the kind of story that's kind of cool where it's like one generation to another. The problem is that never really feels connected properly. It kind of feels eh, meh. Meh is the word. There is a quest in it that just sucked ass. I don't advise anyone to do it. In fact, honestly, the only two people I can think of who would be willing to do it and would feel like they benefited in any meaningful or worth a shite way would be Silver and Muppets, because if they do that crappy mission, then they'll get to play as a Harpy Girl, which I think they would love that. But the thing is that honestly, I did not enjoy that mission. It was tedious. It was literally going to multitudes of areas where I'm not benefiting from the damage I'm taking in experience at all. I'm getting nothing. Uh, honestly, it just sucked. It was an awful mission. I think it's called the Syria and the Bard or something like that. I just call it I'm gonna repress this shit later. No, really. Basically, it's go to six, I think it was, different areas to grab a bard's lost instruments. Know the bard, you never see him. He is assumed dead. But basically, my advice for you is play the game in a specific way so you never have to do that shit at all. Basically, make sure that no matter what, at the end of the day, Wagnus is the one you leave alive. Leave to the end. Because honestly, if you don't, that means that stupid quest goes from being optional to mandatory. Because, yeah. Honestly, the dialogue is not great. I wouldn't say it's bad per se, but it's definitely not good by any stretch. I was kind of led to believe that maybe I could try and rationalize, try and kind of persuade some of these people to get on my side, to get the heroes back onto the right path. No, that was dumb. No, I couldn't, which sucked. It all pretty much ended the same way and was pretty linear. Like, it was kind of a bummer how linear it became, especially by the ending half. Because there are some areas where it's like it gives you the illusion of it being a more or less open little area. But yeah, it's short lived. Very short lived. Yeah. Honestly, as much as I've had fun at the first half, and the different ways I could have my characters fight was felt, not too railroady. Honestly, I have to give the game a 6 out of 10. I'd love to give it more than that, but honestly, I do have to give it a 6 because honestly, there's not a ton of replay value. There's not a ton of reasons to go into New Game Plus. And honestly, when you try and crank the difficulty, all of its difficulty is just fake bullshit. All of a sudden now level 2 enemies are doing thousands of damage when you crank it to the highest setting for fuck all and reason. No, really. The difficulty that happens when you try and raise it up is all artificial bullshit, where none of it has any real impact or any semblance of worth a shite. It's just kind of, fuck you, here's more damage you take, and you now deal nothing despite you're using the strongest weapon in the game and are level 70. Sorry, no, in my case, level 89 up against a level 2. Yeah. Honestly, boss fights in this game are kind of inconsistent. They're not that great for some they're okay. The final boss fight sucked ass because it was basically just, let's break all the rules. We can now do 7 Unite moves, and we can do them pretty much whenever we want. And if you raise the difficulty, that's what we'll do. We'll just spam them over and over again. Yeah. Yep. This game, honestly, I'm glad I have a physical copy of it. I have a physical copy of it because when Sony tries to fuck me over and deny me my game, I can still flip them the middle finger and play my game. Ha! Yes, I'm still bitter that all my games keep. Uh, sorry, rage. Pushing aside. Ultimately, despite the fact that I do get this game a 6, I am going to say that if you're someone who's not as into turn-based games, I can see you giving this thing like a 5 or even a 4 pretty easily. Giving this thing a 2 seems like bullshit and idiotic and overzealous. But eh, for me, I liked a lot of the ideas in it. I wish a lot of them were executed either stronger or more interestingly or more compellingly. Like I kind of wish like this whole dynasty system wasn't, instead of it being a thing where it's some separate dynasty for some new character. I kind of wish these dynasties were a little more intermingled is the only word I can think of, but I'm just gonna say relevant to each other instead. The reality is that honestly, what happens is time skips, lots of time skips as you progress the game. And the thing is that honestly, these time skips, I almost would have just rather them, instead of doing these really dumb time skips, add in a romance mechanic, something else, damn near anything else other than 158 years later, for buttfuck reason, now it's a new character. The average lifespan of a human in our time, from my knowledge, is like fucking about 100 if you're lucky. Do I believe for one damn second that, for one example, that Leon managed to make it to the ripe, desecrated age of 160 something? Sorry, no, 170 something. Fuck no. I don't buy that for a second. And this game does that kind of often. It kind of repeatedly does that. It does a time skip instead of anything that's actually meaningful, or memorable, interesting, compelling, likable, or at least not completely lame. 158-year time skip, you're telling me, and only now is Leon being replaced. I call bullshit. And the thing is that this happens a lot. There are times where it's huge, giant gaps where it's not possible for this person to have been around during the rule of anyone else. It's not possible. Even if we go with the whole magic bullshit for our explanation, it still doesn't work. So yeah. I will say, am I planning on playing this game a lot? Probably no. Will I play it though whenever I'm like, I kind of want something where I can just dick around and kind of do something random, not think much. Then yeah, I'll probably pick this thing up. Now, yes, this thing does have weaknesses and other stuff and other mechanics I'm not going over. Like I said, I want this video to be short. So yeah. So just a reminder, I will be doing opinion videos for a while after this. I am probably going to. I was. I'm probably gonna. I'm probably gonna scale back the amount of recording that I do to once a week for a little bit, kind of just to let myself rest. Because I'm not gonna lie, I was never intending on doing these whole two, or I wasn't planning on leaning this much into it, I should say. But yeah, I'm gonna be trying to go back to one on Thursdays. Trying is the keyword. If I don't feel like it really works, then I'll just easily shift back to doing two again. So yeah. Hopefully, you guys are excited. Because I know I'm tired. See ya!